Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're gonna answer a question that I've been getting a lot ever since I started doing the 05 Plus swap on the OBS. So let's get right to it. So I even made a list for this, but basically the question that I've been getting asked a whole bunch about this whole swap is, why do I want to go from the OBS setup, the Dana 60, to the 05 Plus? Now my truck is an F350 if you guys didn't know that, and it already comes with the Dana 60. So if I already have a Dana 60, why do I want to go to the 05 Plus? Well, that's basically, for me, mainly it's just for the ride quality. A lot of you guys have an OBS truck already, and you know that these trucks basically ride like a dump truck, and that's just not enjoyable whatsoever. You know, my wife will literally not ride in this truck because of how bad it rides. And yeah, I know there's things I could do. I could possibly get better shocks. I could do an RSK and go with Super Duty leaf springs. That would be an option, and honestly those, I've heard that they ride great, and if you set them up properly, they can even ride better than the 05 Plus. And I'll get into that in a little bit. But yeah, that's basically my first point. Like I said, these things ride like a dump truck, like a wagon. They are horrible. They have a super stiff suspension on them, and I get it. You know, these things were meant for work. I get it. But you know what I do with it, I don't really need that stiff of a suspension. But better ride is just one part of the equation. So like you saw, this thing is pretty stiff. Now, like I said, the 05 Plus likes to swap. If you just do it as is, if you just take the radius arms and everything from an 05, it still won't be the best ride. If I've heard that the Super Duty leaf springs in front actually ride better than the 05 Plus if you set it up correctly, but you can make an 05 Plus ride better than the Super Duty with leaf springs. Still with me? And basically the way that you can do that is by eliminating the radius arms. Now obviously they're still not on my truck because I haven't done it yet, but the radius arms kind of work like a sway bar in a way, which kind of limits how much the axle can actually flex, and it binds it up. So if you hit a bump with one tire, it's gonna want to lift up the other side and make your ride kind of rough. But don't get me wrong, the 05 Plus, from what I've gathered, it's still way better than the OBS axles. And like I said, I haven't done it yet. I haven't done it ever, but I have asked a few people that have done it, and they do confirm to me that it rides way better than the stock setup on these things. So now my reason number 2 is actually way more practical, especially for you guys that tow and do a lot of heavy towing, and that is braking. You are going to get a huge improvement in braking performance out of these things if you go to the Super Duty axles, especially the 05 Plus axles. And that's because you're going to get bigger rotors up front, and more importantly, you're going to go from drum brakes in the back to disc brakes, to rotors, disc brakes in the back, which will make a huge improvement in your braking performance. And like I said, to me that's something that's very important. You know, it's going to make your truck a lot safer to drive, and it's just gonna bring it into this century, you know, a little bit more. Now reason number 3 kind of goes along with reason number 2. You basically get better, bigger components out of it. So like I just mentioned, you get bigger, better brakes. You will also get better, beefier steering on it. I don't know if you can tell, but like our steering there looks pretty wimpy compared to what you're gonna find in a Super Duty. And I'll show you later, but like the Super Duty looks like it's almost double as big, and it just makes me feel better knowing that I'm gonna have that under the truck compared to what's on this. Don't quote me on this, I'm not 100% sure, but I believe that when they went to the Super Duty, I think the 05 Plus might have been, you got thicker axle tubes on it. Like I said, don't quote me on that, but that's something that I have heard. As well as it's not as big of a difference, but in the back you go from 10 1/4 to 10.5 sterling. So you know, that's something else. As well as in the back you get better leaf spring packs. And I've heard even if you go with just the 05 Plus leaves, they ride better than the OBS. Mine are 08, which are 8 inches longer on the front, and that should just ride way better than what this thing does in the back. Especially if you pair it with some really good shocks, your truck's really gonna ride better. Reason number 4 is basically upgrades. You can basically run any lift that corresponds to your 05 Plus axle. So that means if you want to, you could basically purchase a lift with a four link kit for them and mount it to the truck, and it should ride way better than just the regular 05 Plus. Now, along with that, you can also run a Super Duty steering gearbox, which should give you, you know, better feel on your steering wheel, you know, a little bit tighter. As well as you can go ahead and swap your power steering pump, your hydro, you can go to hydro boost. Now, all of these are things that you could do without the swap, but if you pair them all together, your axles, your power steering gearbox, your power steering pump, and your hydro boost, you're gonna have an amazing riding, stopping, steering truck. So you're basically gonna take like 5-10 years out of this truck, and you should be able to make it drive, you know, possibly even better than when it was brand new. So that's kind of the goal for me with this thing, to make it ride better than it ever did. So I think we can do it. And reason number 5 is basically, it's not too crazily hard. You can do this at home. It's, if you buy the right kit, it could be basically, you know, bolt on. There's a lot of companies now that make great kits to swap these axles. You know, there's Absolute Customs, there's RYD, there's Sky, Off-Road. They all make great kits to swap your OBS to 05 Plus axles. And all their kits, like I said, they're great kits, good quality, and most of the things will be bolt on. But that's something that I'm gonna try and prove myself, because I can say this right now, but like I said, I've never done this. But if I can figure it out, if I can do it, I'm sure that you guys can too, and I'm gonna show you that along the way. But yeah, that's basically all the reasons that I have for you for wanting to swap to 05 Plus axles. Better suspension, which will give you a better ride. You know, if you want to go off-road, it'll be better off-road. It should flex a little bit better, be a little bit more comfortable. If you have back problems, it'll be a little easier on your back. Bigger, better brakes. If you tow a lot, if you tow a big trailer, it'll help you stop that trailer a lot better, and it'll be safer for you, your family, and everybody else on the road. Not that these things have horrible braking, but if you can improve it, you know, it's even better. Reason number 3, like I said, better components. And again, 4, you're gonna have more upgrades available to you that will make that ride even better, that'll make it look even better, and should make you a little bit happier. And you're gonna have a truck that's a little bit more unique than every other OBS out there. Now, I know that by now there's a bunch of guys that are doing the 05 Plus swap, but most of us don't have it yet. So you're gonna have something that's gonna be really cool, that in your town you're probably gonna be the only one with an OBS with an 05 Plus axle underneath it. So that's pretty cool, all on its own, and it should be pretty easy. Well, maybe easy is the wrong word, but it should be doable by the average guy in the garage, or at least that's what I'm hoping will be the case for us. Now, if you have any other additional reasons why you think this is a good upgrade, let me know, and let us know. Leave them down in the comments down below. Again, if you've already done this, I would really appreciate if you told me your experience with it, if you share what the outcome was, if it really did ride better, if it didn't make a big difference, if you felt an upgrade in braking and suspension and steering. You know, let me know. I'm really interested to find out what actual guys that have done this got out of it. For guys down below that are on the fence about doing it, you know, leave it down there and let them know. Now, again, thanks for watching. Now, if you're interested in the rest of the videos, if this is the first one you've seen, I've already made a few videos, mainly just getting the front axle all sealed up and ready to go for the swap, and I'll leave a link to those videos and those playlists somewhere around here. Go ahead and click those and check it out, and subscribe. Don't forget to subscribe, to leave a like, and again, leave me your comments. Now hopefully in the next video that you see, we're actually gonna tear into the OBS way over there. Anyways, like I said, we'll see you for the next one. Take care and come back.